But speaking of Twitter, you know what is very popular on Twitter these days? Besides bots and inappropriate posts and
I don't
lots of
know.
other things.
Grogu.
Fan theories. Marvel fan theories. Look at that. I took it all the way back around.
Love a good
I can
fan
connect
theory.
dots. I can transition. Look, first of all, I want you to understand the type of person that I am. Because I know we've talked about this before, and I know that you don't get how I could have been invested in this for so long, but I want you to understand. I want you to give you a peek into my mind, which is a scary place. So don't stay there for very long.
Please spare us the pain and agony.
You're probably familiar with Flintstones, right? The Flintstones.
Like Fred Flintstone and yeah.
You know Pebbles. Like what about the Jetsons? You familiar with the Jetsons?
Yeah, I know the Jetsons. Okay. Yeah.
So these are both cartoons that were before my time. And I want to make that abundantly clear because as much as I am very in tune with the fact that I am old, I am not that old that I was on when there was like peak of those shows running. But when I was a kid, for some reason, they brought them back for a special. I think it was like a television special where it was a crossover event where the Flintstones meet the Jetsons. And I thought this was an incredible thing that was happening. And I didn't even like either show. I was just excited to see the two properties.
Whoa. You don't like the Flintstones or the Jetsons?
Not really, no. They were. They just didn't do it for me.
Anyway, the internet's gonna get upset about that.
I think you misunderstand the internet, my friend. But I was very excited to see that crossover event because I think it's really interesting when you can make them, especially if you could do it in a way that feels like it honors both properties. And I think that that's where my obsession with interconnected universes began. So for something like the Marvel universe, which is much more involved than one episode of the Flintstones meet the Jetsons, I'm hooked. I've been in this for so long. I need to know how it goes and how it finishes out. So Doomsday is coming. It's going to be a huge event.
He says.
And I think that people have it all wrong. I think that people are looking at it, trying to figure out what this story is going to be. And I think that they've been hiding clues right in front of us. I want to give you, because I don't think that you're a big comic book guy, right? Did you read comic books as a kid? Like how familiar are you with Marvel comics?
I mean, like, I don't have a canonical knowledge of it, but I've read Spider-Man comics and I read the Justice League. I was a big Archie fan, although Archie is not at all linked to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I've read comics.
Why don't we make... You know how at the end of like every Marvel movie, it says like whoever's in the movie will return in Doomsday?
Oh, yeah.
Can we make a shirt that says Archie will return in Doomsday?
Dude!
Just start making random properties. But just to level set, I want to give you an idea of who Dr. Doom is in case you don't know. And this won't be a long backstory. I'm not a comic book expert by any means.
I want to say who I think Dr. Doom is, and then you can tell me how wrong I am. So Dr. Doom is the doctor dude who goes and studies on the mountain with some monks for a really long time and then somehow gains the ability to control time, metal, and everything. How'd I do?
I think you're thinking of Doctor Strange.
That could be Doctor Strange.
So Doctor Doom is one of the most popular Marvel villains because he is a master of both technology and magic. He's very well trained, like Doctor Strange. He's got.
I was on the right track.
He's got tech like Iron Man. Yeah, he's very. He's not just a mustache twirling villain. He believes that he is doing the right thing, and the only way that he can help the world is by basically controlling it. He thinks that he knows better than everyone else. He's very arrogant, and he thinks that he can save the world by being in control of them. And if he's making the rules, everything is better. That's kind of his belief.
How did he get his powers, though?
So it's a very long story, but basically Dr. Doom, when he was little, his mother, he was born in like a third world country, and his country was being invaded by bad people. His mother made a deal with the devil, essentially, to get some sort of power to get rid of these invaders. And in that deal, she ended up losing her soul and now she's confined to the underworld forever. So Doctor Doom had this chip on his shoulder his entire life to get as smart as he could, be as powerful as he could. He was trying to become all powerful because he basically wants to rescue his mother's soul from the hands of, again, essentially the
This
devil.
sounds
So
like a
he is,
very Greek-inspired type thing, because isn't that
yeah,
what
in a lot of
happens to
ways it is. Yeah,
Persephone?
definitely see a lot of inspiration being taken from that. But he's very well learned. He's very well studied. In a lot of the comic book runs, he was the roommate of Reed Richards in college, and the two of them kind of went back and forth onto who was going to be the smartest one.
Wait, Reed Richards. That's wait. That's Fantastic Four, which is DC. Yeah, that's DC though.
It is not. It is Marvel.
The Fantastic Four is Marvel?
Yep.
Oh, thought it was DC.
It's Doctor Doom is actually primarily a Fantastic Four villain. But I gave you all this context mostly for the one note that he believes that he is the world's hero. Like he is acting out of what he believes is the thing to save people. Doctor Doom thinks like he can protect all of humanity if he just gets to make all the decisions. But he's very
He
flawed.
thinks he's doing right.
He's got a cause, he's got motivation, and he thinks he's got the means to make the world better. So this is going to be important for some of these theories that I have for you. So theory number one, Doom is not the bad guy, at least not till the end of the movie, and maybe not even the primary one. I think that Doctor Doom is not going to be our main antagonist through most of that film. Do you know that this movie used to be the Kang Dynasty? That was the previous iteration of this movie, right? Are you familiar with that?
No. What do you mean a previous iteration? Like it was previously named something different, and then through production it changed, and the script changed, and
sort of
stuff like that?
Years ago, the two Marvel movies were announced. That was going to be Marvel Avengers, The Kang Dynasty, and then Marvel Avengers, Secret Wars. So we had these two movies that were going to be sequels to each other. They were announced at the same time. And the first movie was going to be primarily focused on Kang the Conqueror, who was being built up as the multiverse villain. The actor who played him, Jonathan Majors, got into some legal trouble. He had some domestic abuse things going on. He got dropped from the project, and they retooled the movie. So he got cut, and they turned it into Doomsday. So this movie was originally going to be Kang Dynasty, and it was going to lead into Secret Wars. So we know, like, if you've read the comics, Secret Wars is centralized around Doom. Doom is the guy who's kind of pulling all the puppet strings for Secret Wars, which means that Kang Dynasty was always going to lead up into Secret Wars. That means the end of the movie was going to set up Secret Wars. So when you pivot from Kang Dynasty to Doom now, I don't think that they redid the entire movie from ground up. I mean, obviously the end of the movie is going to be similar, and they would have had to keep some of the story beats to lead up to that ending. You switch some of the story pieces around, you change the characters around. Now you basically have some changes, but it's a pretty similar movie. And we know things that were going to happen in that movie because there was things that came out about the script after they cut that movie. So we know that there was multiple hero teams that were going to be battling against each other and eventually lead up into Secret Wars. We still have that forming now.
Well, okay. I think that you make a lot of good points, but here's my question, right? Is if it was originally Kang Dynasty, which was a different movie, and they underwent a rewriting process for legal reasons, I would believe that they would redo the whole thing. And isn't it like a thing that they're bringing back a bunch of characters that previously were not going to be part of it? So, like, it feels like they have rewritten the whole thing.
Again, though, Secret Wars is still happening, and Secret Wars is Doom. Like, no matter how you look at it, Doom, I believe, was always going to be in the picture for Secret Wars. Secret Wars is a story where all these heroes from other places all come into one battle world, and they fight each other to figure out which get to stay and which get eliminated to basically retcon the entire universe. So you still have that story is the same. The next story is still that story. That's a very iconic story from the comic books. The Kang Dynasty was going to set the groundwork to move into that story, which means that even if you're retooling it, if you're still doing that story, you still need the beats that set up the framework for Secret Wars. The original Kang Dynasty, after it got cut, there was leaks about how it was going to be multiple Kang variants different teams of Avengers were going to fight the independent Kang variants until they came together in one big battle against a primary Kang. Now, that primary Kang, I think we can safely say is going to be some different threat that they all come together, but I think we're still going to have these little battles with their groupings where they're going to
What is a
beef with one
Kang?
another.
What
Kang
is a
is the name
Kang?
of that's the name of the character. His name is Kang the Conqueror. He is a
Okay, so there's
manipulator
one
of
Kang.
time. Kang is like infinite because this is the multiverse saga. So
What does that
Kang
mean?
is an infinite. Basically, there is an unlimited amount of universes, and in each universe, there is a variant of a person. So right now, let's say we're living in universe 1. You are Morgan number 1.
Oh, but there's
Now
an
there's a
infinite
universe
number of
number 2.
Yeah, but that's
Yes,
true for
of most
everybody.
people. Most people. There are a couple characters that there's only one of. Like there's a character named America Chavez. Her whole deal is she's the only one in the entire multiverse and she can walk around them freely. But for the most part, yes,
Yeah.
there's infinite amount of every character.
Okay. So that's interesting. So continue with your theory then. So there's one of these Kangs, one of these infinite Kangs who
Right. So there was going to be one primary Kang, and then leading up to that battle with the primary Kang, there was going to be lots of other Kangs, several other Kangs that the teams of Avengers would have to battle until they got to the point where they were down to the main one. So we already have, based on the movies leading up to this and have continued since the retooling, where they are setting up factions of heroes. We have the Thunderbolts, who were the new Avengers now. There are Sam Wilson's Avengers. We know that we have the X-Men coming because we saw them in a movie and they've been in the trailer promos. We have the Fantastic Four. So we have different groups of people that are still set up in the same structure. So instead of them fighting different Kangs, they're going to be fighting something else. I propose that they have replaced the Kangs with different Doom variants, but instead of us just fighting little bad guys to lead up to the primary, I think we're actually going to have the primary Doom on one of our heroes' teams as a good guy, and we won't know until the end of the movie that he's actually pulling the puppet strings for something more nefarious all along.
Okay, well, but if he was pulling the puppet strings for something nefarious, that would still make him the bad guy. He's just pretending to be on the good guys' side.
Yes, but I think so everybody assumes you didn't see the Fantastic Four movie, but at the end of the movie, the post-credits scene, Doctor Doom makes an appearance. You see him from behind, and I think everybody is thinking, this is it. We're going to get this, like the beginning of the showdown, and everybody is going to launch the events that happen where it's all going up against Doom. I actually think that we're going to see something very different. I think we're going to see Doom launch the events by saying, hey, look, there's a threat coming, and we need to band together. We need to go to another universe. We need to gather heroes up to stop a big threat because the universe is falling apart. So instead of him saying, I am tearing the universe apart and everyone trying to stop him, he's actually trying to get everybody to stop the universe from falling apart alongside of him.
It sounds like something that would be in line with his character, because if he's trying to work towards the betterment of humankind, then the destruction of the universe is not going to be in line with that particular goal. However, I do also think from a writing perspective that if you tease a villain in that way, you can't just be like, oh, by the way, he's not the bad guy. So
we haven't teased him in what way? When you see him in the post-credit scene? Because all you do is you just see him talking to Sue Storm's son. She walks in and you see him from behind. He has taken his mask off, but you don't see his face. You just see him from behind his hood. He's holding his mask in his hand. And he's talking to the child, and the child is reaching up to like touch his face.
So what if it's not Doom at all?
A lot of people speculate that it is the son Franklin Richards fixing Doom's face, because Doom in the comic books has a very scarred face. He's very
that's why he wears the mask.
That's why he wears the mask. Everyone seems to think that the movie is going to be Doctor Doom trying to steal the children of the heroes, starting with Franklin Richards. but that's why we got a Captain America
Okay.
teaser that he's holding a son. We've seen some of these other heroes have small children, and he thinks he's trying to collect these kids to power himself to become the big bad emperor. I think we're going to get a couple different teams of heroes, and there's going to be some interfighting between them. I think that we're going to see Doom arrive with the Fantastic Four. At the end of the Thunderbolts movie, we see that there's a Fantastic Four ship that is coming into our universe, and the Thunderbolts are aware of them. I think we're actually going to see.
Is that the most recent? Like, that's the movie just prior to Doomsday? Like, that was the most recent movie release, was Thunderbolts?
No, Fantastic Four was more recent.
Oh, okay. Is that the most recent one then, the Fantastic Four
There will
movie?
also be a Spider-Man movie that happens between now and then before.
Oh, that's right. That's coming out
Doomsday.
this summer, right?
Yes.
Guys, who wants to place their bets on whether or not Morgan can get caught up before the Spider-Man movie drop?
I will take the under.
Damn, now I've got a reason.
Or the over, whichever one means that it's not going to happen. I don't know.
Now I have a reason. Guys, hold on. Jason has just thrown the gauntlet. When specifically does the Spider-Man movie come out? I need to look this up.
July, I think.
Spider-Man brand, what is it? The Brand New Day?
Spider-Man
Brand New Day release date. So Spider-Man Brand New Day is scheduled to release July 31st. So I have just about 4 months to get caught up. I have 4 months to do a 1-year task.
Godspeed, okay. Morgan, Godspeed.
Hey man, I will be the one who's laughing his popcorn to the theater when it happens.
Your popcorn butter.
My popcorn butter.
Your popcorn butter.
And I will be attending the very themed Spider-Man release of Spider-Man Brand New Day.
All right. I'm going to run the quick gauntlet of these theories in my evidence real quick.
Here we go. Hit me.
I think the end credits scene to Fantastic Four was a red herring because Dr. Doom does not seem to bother Franklin Richards at all. I think that he is actually going to be there to ask Sue Storm for her help. We saw in that movie he was missing from the UN nations meeting for Latveria, who he's the ruler of. I think he's going to ask them for help, tell them, hey, the world is ending. We need to go to another universe to stop this and save everybody. And they're going to be together in the ship that lands in the Thunderbolts film. But I think before that happens, the ship is going to split. It's going to break up in the atmosphere, and part of it is going to land in Wakanda, which is how we get the Thing in Wakanda meeting Shuri and whatever that guy's name that is the king of Wakanda. Now I forget his name, the gorilla guy. Are you with me so far?
So far, I'm with you. I call bogus on the Doctor Doom thing, but maybe the ship in the Wakanda place could happen.
I think it's going to happen. So I think we're going to have different groups of people, and we're going to have interfighting. So I think we're going to see different Doom variants with different groups, and they're going to fight each other because they're going to be like, hey, my world's ending. I got to stop you from destroying us or whatever. So I think we're going to get half the Fantastic Four with Doom, who are going to pair up with the Thunderbolts. I think we're going to get I'm going to guess Sue and Reed together with the Thunderbolts. And I think we know that the Thing lands in Wakanda because that's in the trailer. And I don't know who would be with them. I guess Johnny will be with them. But I think we're going to get the Thunderbolts with half of the Fantastic Four. The other half will end up with the Wakandans and Namor, because we saw him too. I think we're going to see the X-Men as their own group, but with Monica Rambeau, because we know she ended up there after the end of the Marvels. And I think we're going to get another group that's going to be the New Avengers. And all of these groups kind of intertwine some way. So there's going to be some butting of heads, but ultimately a leaf or like a branch. This way they can work together and help out and come back together. So this way, eventually, Doom is going to get them to work together against a common threat. And are you ready for this, Morgan? You're not going to know what this is, but Jason, it's a total big deal. I think that the big ending bad guy that Doom is going to work everybody towards is going to be none other than the Maker. And you don't know who that is, but it is a big deal. And I think he's going to be played by Miles Teller. Boom.
I don't
Mic
know who
drop.
Miles Teller is. Is that a character in
Dude!
universe or an actor?
No, he's an actor. He's an actor. He was the guy that was in Whiplash. Did you see the
Oh,
movie
okay.
Whiplash?
Yeah, yeah,
Miles
yeah.
Teller's a
The
great
drummer,
actor.
the drummer kid, right?
Yes. He is a great actor. He was in that terrible Fan Four Stick movie where he played Reed Richards. That movie sucks so bad. And it's the
Okay.
one property that they haven't intertwined into the multiverse saga yet. So, what better way to do that than to pull that Reed to become the Maker, who's an evil Reed Richards variant, one that uses technology
Mm,
to construct multiverse shenanigans and bring the worlds apart. I think,
interesting.
I think that Shang-Chi's rings
Hmm.
and the bangles of Miss Marvel, they're actually going to be his technology. And when we saw the beacon at the end of whatever movie that was, Shang-Chi, I think
Hmm.
that they were calling him, and he's going to be the big bad. And when they finally defeat him, that's when Doom's going to go, great. Now I can ascend my throne to take over everything and make sure we are all safe and better. And it will bring us full circle to when Robert Downey Jr. says, new mask, same task, because he, just like Doom and just like Iron Man, want to put a suit of armor around the world. Perfect bow.
Interesting. I you know what? I may get on board with this once I get caught up because I don't know who this maker dude is, but if there's a legitimate way where Doom isn't the bad guy and it's still satisfying, if this is the avenue for that, I think that that would be a very good twist. I don't know that it will happen. I will get caught up
I
and levy my opinion in July.
this is why people like Doom so much, because he has been like he's a very complicated character, and he is a bad guy, but he doesn't operate for the sake of being bad like a traditional comic book villain.
He sounds
He
like a
is
Batman
trying to do
kind of
good.
character. Yeah, he sounds like a
Th-
Batman kind of character where he's
Yeah.
like a dark hero.
Yeah, imagine if Batman was also full of himself and thought he was just the greatest human being of all time. That's kind of
Isn't
what Doom is.
isn't that isn't that Batman's thing a
No.
little bit though?
No, Batman is humble. I mean, like he sacrifices his public persona as Bruce Wayne in order to keep his secret because he sacrifices his self for the good of the city. He's totally the opposite. He's a very humble character.
No, I thought he
Doom,
did that. I
not so
thought he
much.
did that in order to have yeah, because it doesn't he use his Bruce Wayne persona to fund his vigilante efforts? So I thought he did that in order to keep the two separate. And like I guess it could be a humility thing, but he's also like pretty confident that he can handle any problem. Like, isn't that part of his whole
He's very good
shtick?
at what he does. Yes, and he's confident as like, in his combat skills and that sort of thing. But he doesn't think that his way is the best way. He's much better at um like I said, he'll sacrifice himself for the city. He throws his own reputation under the bus. Like he acts like a doofus idiot playboy in public. This way, nobody associates him with the possibility of being Batman because
Hmm.
they're like, well, he's a moron. He's like just a rich doofus. Like that guy couldn't be Batman because Batman
Yeah, I thought that was all in
knows
an
what he's doing and
effort.
he's smart.
Yeah, I thought that was all in an effort to not be discovered as Batman, not as like some self-flagellating kind of thing. But maybe
I
I'm
mean,
misunderstanding Batman's character.
yeah, I mean, even if that were the case, which I don't think that it is, but even if that were the case, that still takes away from the fact that Doom has no problem telling everybody he's the greatest.
Okay.
He doesn't want to take criticism. Yeah, him and Reed bump heads all the time because Reed he resents Reed because when they were in college together, they did their project. Reed told him like something was not right about his project. That's what blew up and scarred his face. And he resents Reed for it. It wasn't because Reed did the problem. It was he pointed it out. And for some reason he blames that on Reed because he doesn't have any kind of humility to say, oh, maybe I made a mistake. He's
Right.
very arrogant. He's very
Sounds like he has sort of like a ego complex a little bit.
he does, yeah.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
he's very narcissistic. That's why he won't let anybody see him with the mask
A
off,
little bit of
because
megalomania.
for sure. Yeah. So
Interesting.
I think Doomsday
I
is going to be a fun ride. I think like pulling all this stuff together and then ending this multiverse thing where everything is now in one place. We go into Secret Wars. It cuts, it figures out what our future is from here, and then we can be done with variants and all this other stuff. I think it's going to be great.
I don't know that if that is Doom's personality, I don't know that it makes sense for him to team up with the good guys. It's an interesting theory, Jason. I wonder what will happen.
We'll see. We'll have to put this in our
We definitely
conspiracy
will.
corner playlist there. Yeah.
Tune in for part 2 when Morgan is caught up in July and Morgan weighs in with his conspiracy theories.